The CTBUH 2009 conference was held on October 22nd and 23rd in the city of Chicago. In our 40th anniversary year, Chicago was the natural choice of location for our 85th regional conference. Not only is it both the birthplace of the Skyscraper and home to the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, the city continues to innovate in tall building design and technology. Two of the tallest 10 buildings completed in the world during 2009 were located in Chicago, Trump Tower and Aqua. And not many super tall buildings are constructed anywhere around the world without the involvement of some of the considerable architectural and engineering expertise that reside in the city. The conference was held at the Illinois Institute of Technology, placing delegates in the midst of the Mies van der Rohe-designed campus with historic landmarks such as SR Crown Hall and contemporary works by architects Rem Koolhaas and Helmut Jahn. The Council has been organizing at least one conference every year since its inception in 1969. This has added up to 85 regional conferences with 8 World Congresses in 40 years. The Chicago Conference, in addition to bringing in some of the most renowned speakers from around the world to present, also had a reflective feel to it, befitting the Council's 40th anniversary. One session was dedicated to the reflections of past CTBUH chairmen, and the CTBUH's commemorative brochure was produced and distributed complimentary to delegates. This two-day conference was attended by 615 delegates, representing 278 companies from 35 countries. In the midst of a worldwide economic recession, these were impressive numbers indeed. Delegates represented the full spectrum of the professions involved in the latest developments in tall buildings worldwide: developers, building owners, architects, engineers, contractors, etc. Members of the press were also on hand, and the event received significant international media coverage, including features in Engineering News Record, Architectural Record, and Elevator World magazine, amongst others. The theme of the conference was The Evolution of the Skyscraper: New Challenges in a World of Climate Change and Recession. Tall buildings have enjoyed almost 2 decades of unprecedented development, built in greater number, height, and geographical spread than at any other time in history. However, that achievement is now under threat from the twin challenges of global climate change and severe international economic recession. The then CTBUH chairman, David Scott, touches on this during the conference opening address.
At the height of the boom, we could see some storm clouds on the horizon, but we didn't actually know what was going to happen. And for many of us, the worst has happened. But now is the time to reflect on what that means for the industry and what is happening, because when we were at the boom, there were 2 things that were becoming obvious. One was that the question of sustainability and what was going to happen to the world in future was something that was starting to affect all tall building designers around the world.
The conference was based on the premise that now is a time to rethink what had been taken for granted in the international boom of the past decade or so, and also an opportunity to discard old habits. New problems or challenges ask for creative solutions, and the goal of the conference was to learn in what direction we in the 21st century should be heading. Delegates heard from 34 speakers who presented in 8 themed tracks over the 2 days. Speakers included His Excellency Mohammed Ali Alabar, talking about the world's tallest building, the Burj Dubai. The Mayor of Chicago, Richard M. Daley, presenting on the city's perspective on tall buildings and sustainability. Arthur Gensler, founder of Gensler Architects, presenting on the super tall Shanghai Tower. Stephen Hall, presenting on his award-winning linked hybrid scheme. John Portman, founder of John Portman Associates. Richard Tomasetti of Thornton Tomasetti, presenting the Chicago Spire. Adrian Smith of Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill Architects. Eric Trump and Andy Weiss from the Trump Organization, presenting on the Trump Tower Chicago. Carol Willis of the Skyscraper Museum, and many more. Many delegates took advantage of the 6 technical tours that were organized prior to the conference, showcasing some of the latest and innovative tall building projects to join the Chicago skyline. Design architect Jeannie Gang personally led the tour of the recently completed Aqua Tower by Studio Gang Architects. She described the ideas behind the characteristic undulating balconies which give the building its organic feel. The tour of the Blue Cross Blue Shield headquarters building presented a unique example of a high-rise vertical extension, where 24 additional floors are being constructed on top of an existing 30-story building. A tour of a Chicago classic, the John Hancock Center, showed delegates many of the back-of-house spaces in the tower, where it was learned that the Hancock signature crown of light is comprised of 552 fluorescent light tubes that require 80 man-hours to sheathe in plastic each time the color is changed. The 250-meter Legacy Tower contains 357 residences, and delegates toured completed units as well as floors that were still being fitted out. They saw firsthand how this project was designed to be deeply rooted in its ground plane context. The recently topped-out One Museum Park West residential tower gave delegates an opportunity to see a Chicago high-rise in the midst of construction. The tour included the roof penthouse, typical residential floors, and the basement of the project. The sixth technical tour on offer was the recently completed Trump International Hotel and Tower. Delegates visited the hotel component, which had actually opened 8 months before the tower had even topped out construction. They were also taken to the 14,000-square-foot penthouse on the 89th floor. Later that evening, the Trump Tower also served as the venue for the opener to the conference. The pre-conference welcome reception, held in the luxurious 16th floor ballroom facilities of the tower, delegates networked over cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. During the reception, the CTBUH also recognized the building for its significant height achievements which, in addition to its sixth tallest in the world achievement, included the tallest building with an all-concrete structure, and the tallest building to be built in North America in the last 35 years, since the Sears Tower. Eric Trump from the Trump Organization accepted a commemorative plaque on behalf of the building.
I appreciate it. Well, let me say this is an absolute great honor, and I think I heard you say the word best before, and the reason we're the best is because, quite frankly, the people in this room, everybody from Bovis, everybody from SOM, everybody down to elevator contractors and different mechanical engineers that built this building, which has been such a monumental success for us, is sitting here in this room today, and they're really the ones that deserve this praise.
On the evening of day one of the conference, many delegates attended the CTBUH 8th Awards Dinner and Ceremony held in the Mies van der Rohe Signature Crown Hall. The event celebrated the 2009 CTBUH award winners. Lifetime Achievement Awards were given to architect John Portman and engineer Dr. Banavalkar. And the 4 best tall building regional winners were recognized: Manitoba Hydroplace, Winnipeg, for the best tall buildings Americas; Linked Hybrid, Beijing, for Asia and Australasia; the Broadgate Tower, London, for Europe; and Tornado Tower, Doha, for the Middle East and Africa. There then followed a nail-biting announcement of the best tall building overall. This went to Stephen Hall's Linked Hybrid building.
So I feel really amazed at this moment, and I have to say that I just make watercolor sketches, and I really rely on everyone else, especially you and Joe. So it's really a group effort, and thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The evening also saw the official passage of the CTBUH chairmanship from David Scott to Professor Sang-Dae Kim of Korea, with the passing of the gavel ceremony. In addition to the welcome reception and the conference dinner, there were many opportunities throughout the conference for networking and interaction between delegates. Just outside the conference auditorium was the conference exhibition, where a number of companies had booths to facilitate discussion with colleagues, and 50 posters illustrated the very latest in tall building designs from around the world. The exhibition space was heavily frequented throughout the numerous coffee breaks and lunches and served as an information-packed backdrop for delegates networking. Amidst the many meets and discussions during these breaks, one that caught significant media attention was the impromptu meeting of several VIP conference attendees. Mayor of Chicago Richard M. Daley and His Excellency Mohammed Ali Alabar, chairman of EMAR Properties, met and had a discussion with the president of the Illinois Institute of Technology, John Anderson, and CTBUH representatives. Immediately following this meeting, at the beginning of the next session, Mayor Daley was presented with a steel bolt from the construction of the Burj Dubai as a gift from His Excellency Mr. Alabar. The following chapters present a highlights overview of each of the 8 sessions of the conference, summarizing the key points and presenting the main themes. For more information on any of the 24 presentations or to watch videos of all the presentations in full, please visit the conference website at ctbuh2009.ctbuh.org.